I wanted to show this first before actually moving on to the cast. This is the world sheet that I've made, and that is a lot more advanced than any other that I've made up to that point. So let me go back all the way up top for all of them. All the way up top. All the way up top. There we go. Same thing for this. All the way up top. And this all the way up top. Thank you. So, yeah, I wanted to show all of this. So this is my World's 2014 sheet, as you can see from the title here. So I have analyzed, quote unquote, analyzed every game from World's 2014. If you don't know, this isn't the first one that I've made. I have made a few. By that I mean that I've made Spring 2013, EULCS, Spring 2013, EULCS Summer 2013. I've made EULCS 2014 Spring and Summer. And now I'm moving on to Worlds. I also did Worlds 2013. So the one that I want to show, just as a chain, to show the chain between the two, okay? So the one I want to show is going to be that 2013 one. But you just wait a second. I am going to put it just boom. There we go. So that is my 2013 EULCS 2013 spring sheet. So we are zoomed out at 55, but I'll zoom back in at 70. There we go. Because this actually, I did do it at 85. If you're wondering, I did it while this was at 85. Personalized 85. Thank you very much. So there you go. Why 85? Because at this point you can see that the font is not cubed. You know, it's not cubes. It's not pixels. It's an actual font. This was Calibri because I didn't even change the font because I'm an idiot. And so at that point in 2013 spring, you had 8 teams, them being Gambit, Fnatic, EG, SK, Against All Authority, Copenhagen Wolves, Giants Gaming, and the Dragonborns. So those were the 8 teams in 2013 spring. Here you can see some stats. I didn't add many, as you can see. We've got the average goal difference at 15, at 20, and the total goal difference, average. Then you've got the average turrets at 15, 20, and total. Average Drakes, Barons for every single team. Not really a good metric, but okay. And then you had team kills at 20 and total. I apparently didn't put the 15 for some reason. Why didn't I put 15? I don't know. But yeah, there you go. Those were the things for each team. Then you have the stats for each player. Stats for every player. Boom. These are all the stats. You can see some teams have more than 5 because substitutions. And so yeah. This one's at 6. This one's at 7 here. Whoops. This one's at 7 here. They have Dexter that came in and Yamato. So, yeah. Neogobro. Boom, 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 boom. 7 players here too. These 2 left. Kautard got replaced by Bjergsen, and Bjergsen got a pentakill. So, yeah, that's pretty fun. So, there you go. That's my first analyzing of all the stats. There you go. As you can see, there was nothing. Literally, there was nothing. Like, you have stats at 15, 20, at 15, and full stats, and the total stats. And total, not even averaged out. Then the average comes here, for some reason. I don't know why I didn't do it all. That was dumb. Anyway, yeah. And then the KDA averaged. Who has the best KDA? Him. Hercubot has the best KDA. French power. And here you have the model for a single game. And the games are right here at the bottom. This is one game. this plus this. That's one game right here. You have game time put here at 41.28 for this one with a first blood on 9.20. Congratulations. That's all the time stats you're going to have. Multi-kills, oh, they're right here. Have fun actually getting them into the actual stats. Yeah, you're not going to. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. And I made a separation between both teams, which actually meant that I had to spend twice as long on these. For the first one, at least. So yeah, not great. Pick and ban, also kind of sucky, as you can see. Like, what the fuck even is that? And there you go. And that was that was how it was for every single 112 games plus playoffs. I didn't count the playoffs in the 112, but yeah, there you go. Those were all the games right here in 2,600 lines. 2,600 lines. Then, let's move on to the second one, which is this one. It's gonna come, just 1 second. Where is it? Oh, for fuck's sake. I have to redo it again. That's fine. It doesn't take too long. Boom. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the summer split. Summer split was slightly better when it came to stats. I at least did some real counts, as you can see. All of these were time stats that I didn't really do with timers, but okay. I only did the full timers, so this is a pretty long formula, as you can see. Oh, whoops. That's bad. Boom. Thank you very much. Then I did all the team stats in 4 different lines, which was a pain in the ass to actually fill. Because every time I had to do this, then go back down here and add the J, then add an N with the number, and then add the R with a number. And that sucked. Okay. All of these also much better here with a win percentage, because at that point they actually like to use win percentage. So, yeah. And actually here, finally, for player stats, you have at least more stats and taken at intervals of 5 minutes, so that's better. And there is a single game. That is one game here. As you can see, I refined how I did it from spring. I really refined how I did it from spring. Instead, now you have an actual... this is actually something that is presentable, let's say. Is it good? Not really that good yet now. Compared to what I do now, it's not that good. And so here you go. All the stats. Boom. With total stats. Drake's at 20, Baron's at 30. Which I would change to Drake's at 25 and Baron's at 35. Just so that you have at least a bit more. And so that's how it goes for every single game. You also have first blood, first turret, first inhib, and the ending time. Here, at least, presented okay. Not that good, but presented okay. Actual pick and ban phase here, that's also presented fine, but not great too. I will change that, don't worry. And so that's how it is for all of those games up to 112. Then, in summer, you had a shit ton of tiebreakers. Look at that. Boom. You had, I think, 7 games of tiebreakers, which is a number. And so, yeah, here I actually did a thing a bit different. So I added the names of the teams with a color to each team, which felt better. Yeah, but it wasn't that big or anything. And I didn't actually use stats for those, so there you go. So what that meant now was that I wanted to change. I wanted to change getting into playoffs. And so we get into the change. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my EU LCS Summer Split 2013 playoffs actual changed things. So we have here the teams with each player. And as you can see, there's a bit of extra stats here. Yeah, because I actually added these here, which are the multi-kills. The multi-kill stats are taken into account right now. Then, here is how you do a game now. I did something different for the game itself. So, here are the multi-kills, right here, taken into account. You have 3 double kills here for Creaton and things like that. So, okay. And let's look at that draft phase right here. I added a different style of the draft phase. So, I didn't do it in a way that, you know, you're still not having things. Oh, actually, I also see a typo. Vladimir. Yep, Vladimir. There we go. That was a nice typo. But yeah, I didn't add things in order of the draft. I added them with where they were supposed to be every time anyway. But as you can see, this was also put in 3 because I didn't want one giant line or anything like that. And it will come back to bite me in the ass later on, but don't worry. Time stats, I actually took them all into account for real now, okay? If you look at it, first blood, first third, first dragon, first baron, and first inhib. So I have all the timestamps for every first objective taken, which is different. I also have added 2 lines for steals if ever they happen, which didn't happen for a while, I think. But yeah, there you go. This looked better already, okay? This looked better. Was it good? It was fine, but it wasn't amazing or anything. Here I actually did a bit of a change here. As you can see, I changed a bit of how this works here, but that's fine. Also, one thing, I had a draft victory for which team actually gets a draft edge, in my opinion. And this one, yeah, it was definitely... I mean, Ash Zyra is a good lane. I don't like Renekton, of course. Elise can actually win in the 1v1 matchup, yeah. Especially going with the build that Soaz went with back then. So, yeah, no, I'm okay with that draft victory for him. For them, that's okay. Oh, and this one's a Turbo Fist. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then no more changes here. But that's okay. You don't need more changes. So, yeah. This was my summer sheet. Then, let's move on to the third sheet that I made. Yeah, we're going to go through all of them before we actually move on, because I actually want to see if my throat actually holds on. For now, it's fine. I'm not actually having much problems with my throat. And boom. Here is my 2013 Worlds sheet. But we will... Okay, for a bit. You won't see things. You didn't see things. So, welcome. Yeah, thank you. Welcome to Worlds 2013. If you want to know, there was 2 different groups at that Worlds. Only 2 different groups. So, sorry, I had to drink a bit. You had one, as you can see, Gaming Gear EU, Team Solo Mid, SK Telecom T1, Lemon Dogs, and Oh My God, OMG. Which actually were called Oh My God. Now they're after that they were only called OMG, and they were actually called Oh My God. But at that point they were called Oh My God apparently. So at that point you only had 2 teams that made it out of those groups. So you would have 4 teams coming out of groups, and then 4 teams that got in without actually ever needing to actually play in groups, which was dumb, but okay. So, let's look at the stats. So, win-loss record here. Patch, just a small line for patch. Then, every single team stat. Boom. There wasn't much added, as you can see. It was the same team stats because I didn't really know what to add for team stats at that point. I'm still kind of unsure about what to add now also, but you'll see. Then we've had the extra stats for each team. How many times did they take an objective and when? So as you can see, the formula is pretty easy. You just take the times for each game that they've played and got that objective on, and you divide it by the number of times that it was done. Duh. There you go. Not that hard. So you can see that SKT took 7 times the first Baron and 7 times the first Inhib. Of course, their only loss was against OMG. And there you go. So, wow. This is almost the same team. I'm sorry, because I actually just come out of OMG versus Najin White Shield myself. And this is almost the same team. Okay? The only change is the support, which is Cloud now. Okay, anyway. So, there are the player stats. Not many changes, but of course there are the multi-kills. I didn't really change much on those. I didn't really change much. I added some extra thoughts for the international play, some win and loss times, and extra thoughts after the game. There you go. And then we get into this. The first game. So it was pretty much the same as 2013 summer playoffs. Just one change was this. As you can see, I actually separated all of these things. And nowadays, I would also do another thing, which is adding this. Doing this, you know? I would do this. Changing the color of the teams to actually make them more recognizable is something that I have done now and that I've enjoyed doing. And this is the only change. Extra thoughts after the game. It was very small. It was a small box, but it was still enough to, you know, actually make it quite okay. And so that was how it was for all the games, except I added a bit of a thing here. Yeah, you see? I added a bit of an explanation for how I think this is going. Of course, I am a follower of LS, so Sinners vs. Saint. Seriously, though. My God, how sinful is that? This is not Saint, but I mean, I can't explain it much better anyway. With that amount of place. How well do you want me to explain it? And here are the playoffs. I mean, it's the same for Group B, okay? It's the same for all of that. And even this is also the same. So I didn't really do much. And this one was true. And this one was true too. What the fuck? And so, yeah, I didn't do any other changes in this. By the way, Fnatic really fucking deserved to get to the finals in 2013. They deserved it. Anyway. They wouldn't have won, but they deserve to actually get in there. Rita, couldn't I say SHR? Oh, it wasn't Starhorn, it was just Royal Club back then. Ah, okay. So no, I couldn't. 20 minutes, 38 minutes, 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. Lul. And this is a nonsensical Kassadin. I fucking hate that Kassadin in this game, yeah. You're playing into Zed. So, first of all, your matchup is already fucked. And then you have a team that can kite you relatively well and CC you also effectively. Have fun playing Kassadin in this game. Rumble, too. How the fuck are you going to get a team fight going with so many dashes? The only target you can get to is Zyra. And of course, Zyra is the only one that really died. I mean, with Impact. And Faker. But Faker did play Makers. Did plays, so that's fine. So, that was World 2013. Now, on to the next one. 2014 Spring. And this is when things are changing. Let me get it all the way back up. This is when things really changed. So, let me get it back. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted to add. My bad. I kind of fucked up. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Welcome to LOL 2014 Spring. ULCS 2014 regular spring. So first of all, weekend patch number. We've had 5 weeks on the same fucking patch. I don't know how you can even think about that. Yeah. And I said rest in peace Kassadin for 4.4 because that was kind of true. We've got the team standings. Yeah. Cool. Team average stats. There you go. Not that much different. Just Dragon at 25 now, and it's also a bit smaller. I still did it that way, really. That sucked. I still did it that way? Oh my god, yes I did. Okay. Anyway. So stats, not that different. But the one thing that really changed is this. Oh my god, look at this shit. So, welcome. Hello. What the hell is going on? The fuck is this? There's something weird happening. I hope my... Is my PC getting broke? I don't know. If I do this? Okay. That's fine. That's fine then. Anyway, yeah. So, champion average stats. I did a massive thing for 2014. I got into the undertaking of actually getting every single champion in the games that are played. So, as you can see, all of these names are not actually duplicating or anything. I made sure that there was only one for each name by Control F. You know, then you search the name if it's there, and there you go. A lot of names, as you can see. A lot of names. There are 76 champions played in fucking this time. So, there you go. But the main thing is, so you have win-loss record with win percentage for every single champion. Is it indicative of a champion strength? Fuck no. And then you have the plays that they have, plus the bans, and that gives you the total presence. So, the most present one is, of course, I think, Elise, actually. Yeah, it is Elise, no? No, never mind. It's Lucian. 83.93. So it is Lucian. And then you have all the stats of each player that played them together. There you go. With no pentakill this season, by the way. A few quadras, but not that many, actually. Not that many. Only 3, I think. So, yeah, there you go. That was the big change for this season. And that's also the big change here. All of this. This shit right here. So I added the color in the text here. I did 2 different things. So one for the small stats and one for the big ones. As you can see, it's named 2 and 3. So there you go. And then I added a draft phase complete in order of draft. So ban 1, 2, 3, pick 1. Ban 1, 2, 3, pick 1, 2. Boom, 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 boom. That's how it was, okay? And then a finalized team composition with a draft win and a bigger explanation. Still kind of small, but a bigger one. And then I added some extra thoughts after the game. That was still kind of small, but still, that's fine. That's fine. That wasn't too small. And there you go. That was how that was for a while. For all those games. That was the same thing. For all 112 games. I added a bit of color. If you look at game 100, I added a bit of color whenever I go to a milestone number. See, game number 100, it's in red. If I look at game 75 normally, yeah, see, the number is in gold. Woo! Yeah, small things that actually add a bit of color in the world. And then we get to this. So 2014 playoffs. Oh boy, look at this. Look at this. It's in one line. Oh my god. Yeah, I know, right? I actually did it in one line. Look at that. Wow. Such a change. It's already a good change, okay? It's actually a good change. Bigger explanation. Much bigger explanation. And game insight. Changed. It's not only at the end of the game that I give my extra thoughts. I also give some at 20 minutes now. And that thing will stay for, well, up until now. So there you go. And I also always add a GG at the end of it. Sometimes I don't do it at the end, but I normally do. And so, yeah, that was how this was for all of that time here. They surrendered? They actually did surrender in the final. In the final game that they played, they actually surrendered. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah. You also had all the champion stats for every single series, by the way. Yeah, because I wanted to. That's something that stays actually for Worlds too. But anyway, that was spring. Now, we're not done. We're not done. There's one last. Before we get to the one that I'm on right now, there's one last. Boom. Boom, boom. I know this takes a bit longer, but don't worry. Bear with me. You don't see shit. 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 Okay. You didn't see shit. Anyway, welcome to the ULCS Summer 2014 regular split. Patch number is a bit bigger, so I have a bit of a longer quick thoughts, but not that long still. Of course, there were huge changes in 410, which were the 80 changes. So there you go. Then we've had the team standings here. Normal. Team average stats. Normal. Nothing new added on that. Player stats. I think I added it. Yes, I added it. Total champion damage was added. So that's an extra stat. I also added total CS per minute, which is much more indicative of a laner's strength. Okay? It's much more indicative than CSD in my opinion. Even if those numbers are fucking big. Freddy, yeah, because they don't really like lane swapping for SK, so that makes sense that he's actually ahead. Anyway, so that is this, plus the champion stats. I'm improved, of course, with the CS per minute and the total champion damage. Again, pretty indicative of how a champion is supposed to play in lane. As you can see, minus 39 for this one, and that is Nidalee. Okay. Plus 47 for this one, and that is Kale. That also makes sense. Minus 50. Who's this? Karthus. Yeah, again, makes sense. Now, who was the one with the highest presence? Of course, it's Kassadin, who was not picked in 2 games. 2 games. I think, right? Oh, no, 1 game. No, wait. 9 plus... No, that's 2 games. Never mind. 2 games. Okay. Anyway, welcome to the first game. And I hate what I did there. I should have changed it. Okay. Anyway. So this was bigger, but at the same time, as you can see, there is a bit of a weird thing going on. Why have I fusioned these cells? Like, it's not needed to get a fusion on all of these cells here. Yet I did. Same for this. Why did I do a fusion on these cells? Why did I do a fusion on these cells? So, in the end, I used a lot of extra space that was unneeded. I didn't need to use space like this. Instead, I could just do this. Change the height of a cell. You know? But I didn't. Of course, that would have meant that I needed to do a bit of remodeling around what I wanted to do in the games. But you'll see. So yeah, there you go. It was a bit dumb how I did this, but in the end, it's done. Same thing. I didn't want to have not all the stats at the same time shown, but in hindsight, why does that matter? Just move your cursor. Move it. Just go all the way. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't. And that's why you'll see that there is a massive change coming. EU playoffs. So, remember what I said about fusion and how I didn't want to have fusion of cells anymore? Welcome to the final version. So this is basically what I'm still on right now. You've got draft phase with cells in height of 50 that I will actually refine to go down to 41. Okay? It's going to get refined. Don't worry. Same thing, I also changed the size of these guys normally. Of some of them, at least. I think all of them, though. Yeah, those are 91. Yeah, so I did change those. And so, as you can see, yes, this one is fusioned. Is actually not one cell. Why? Because if I didn't do it that way, it would have actually used a lot more space than what I did. So instead, use fusion. It's going to actually take on these cells here, so it doesn't matter as much. And so there you go. So there's also one thing that I changed here. As you can see, there's game score right here. Yeah, that's a bit of a change. There's also a game score right here with a note that I give for every single game about how I feel the game is played. Okay, this is a bit small, but I will change that. I will refine it. Don't worry. This is the first time I've done this like that, so it will get refined. No worries. Same thing for this team stats. Nothing different in these, but that's because I don't know what to add extra, and I still don't. And finally, as you can see, I finally did all of this in one line. Yes, finally. I also added extra stats. I added champion damage per minute, total gold per minute, and gold distribution percentage. So what this means is that at least now I have better metrics to actually show the impact of a single player on the team. So there you go. I also have this. Who won each game phase? And I have 4 different phases of the game. Early, end, mid-game, late game. Early lane, end of lane, mid-game, late game. So early lane basically means up until around 8 minutes. So around what would be nowadays the first Herald spawn, but what was then probably closer to first or second dragon control. So first dragon if there was no lane swap, and second dragon if there was a lane swap. So there we go. And there you can see, bam, Rock outgunned the first game, bam, 1-0. And there you go. This is just much cleaner. You can see a lot better about how things are. Also, as I said, I will refine these to actually get them to a lower number normally after a bit of time. And if it's not now, it will be at Worlds that I do change that. Okay, so it's going to be at Worlds that I actually do the change. Wait a minute. What? Where's the finals? Excuse me? Where's the finals? I lost the finals. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to have that. One second. Ah, there you go. So yeah, okay. I didn't actually keep... That's fine. I have the sheet with me now. Wait a minute. Because this is not the right sheet. This is not the complete one. But it doesn't matter. It's just for me now. So let me rename that one. There we go. Good. Much better. Where is it? Here it is. There we go. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Worlds sheet. So, I have this massive sheet now that I've made. It's actually the second biggest sheet I've made, isn't it? Yes, it is. No, wait. Yeah, it is. It is the second biggest sheet I have made for now. So, is it? No, it's the third. Ah, okay. It's the third biggest. So the two bigger ones are Spring and Summer 2014, and that makes sense because those were very big in how much shit was going on in those, so that makes sense. But yeah, welcome to the World sheet. Groups, you have 4 different groups. So that means 4 different types of game stats. 4 different things with game stats on them. Then you have the playoffs. So there you go. Group A, you had 4 teams, and that's the structure that will stay on the game up until now, which makes sense. If only it can be double elimination, that would be appreciated for Worlds. Thank you very much. But yeah, you had the group of Samsung White, boom, 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 every single player, every single champion. And as you can see, much cleaner, even if this is at 50 pixels still. When do I do the change at 41? Because I know I do it. I also added all the team stats at the end and everything, which in hindsight, I did do a better job of here. I changed them to actually get them all at the start of it, as you can see here, which is much cleaner and makes more sense. So, yeah. In itself, there isn't anything that really changed about them, about the stats, except one thing, which is this, champion damage per minute, which I added. Because again, better metric to understand how much damage you're dealing in a game. And so there you go. All of them are the same here. And the games are also the same, pretty much. Still with a height of 50 pixel that I will change. Okay, now that is 41 pixels. Yeah, there you go. Much better. 41 is cleaner because at least you don't have extra space that is completely unneeded. This is 46, which was a transitional period between the two. I didn't really know where to actually get those. Okay, why didn't I add extra? I mean, I know that they end the game in 22, but still, though. I can just do... No mid. There. That's normally what I do. I don't know why I didn't do that here. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Every single game. Done. That's good. And that's how it is for every single one of these. So we're good. Then playoffs. As I said, same thing, but a bit different. With all the stats here. On the front here. Much better. Much cleaner. And the rest is the same. On the stats, everything is the same. I did add one thing here. Expected result. So, yeah. And the games are the same, because I didn't really need to change anything at that point now. I had a good formula, and I didn't need to change anything. And so, we are done with the quarterfinals. And so, we are moving on to this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Derpy Double F, but also welcome to the World Semifinals between Samsung Blue and Samsung White. We will do all 3 games today, okay? We will do all 3 games today. And at the same time, after done myself, I will actually also complete my sheet. So yeah, that's a thing. So, let's talk a bit about the 2 teams that are going to face each other. Samsung White have been the most dominant team at this World Championship. And this guy is, of course, 100% the main man on the team that has done so much for how well Samsung White are playing around the map. They have only lost 1 single game to Team Solo Mid in the entire World Championship. They are 9-1. They are 9-1 in this World Championship with an average win time that is extremely, extremely low. They averaged 32 minutes in their win times against Team Solo Mid. And if you look at their actual win time in their group, it was 28 minutes and 59 seconds. 54 for me because I actually count when the Nexus is starting its animation, but you should actually do the count when it stops its animation, when you actually have the victory screen normally, which adds an extra 5 seconds. The animation is 5 seconds long, so there you go. But yeah, what the time shows when you're actually supposed to have a thing much higher than that in the average time at that point, okay? In 2014, games were about 10 to 15 minutes longer average than what they are today in League of Legends. by today, I mean in 2022. If you count like 2018, the games were actually longer in spring than what they were in 2014. But okay. So, this World Championship is, of course, going to be the Samsung show. Right now, you have a showing between both Samsung teams, Samsung White and Samsung Blue. Samsung Blue have looked messy. They've looked really messy, especially if you remember because I do have it on my YouTube channel right now, which you can go check. The Samsung Blue against Cloud9 quarterfinals was much closer than it should have been, and completely soured me, at least, on what Samsung Blue as a team can do. They were dominated on the map, they were dominated in their play, and it just didn't look good for what Samsung Blue wanted to do. Cloud9 outplayed on the map. Yes, okay, High had 2 happy games, let's say, but game 1 was incredible from Cloud9, and you cannot say that it was you can't say it was a comp diff, but it was a comp diff, but it was also what Samsung Blue wanted to do in the game, right? So it's kind of weird. And so I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about how well this is going to reflect in the game right now. And I mean, it's totally going to reflect in the game. The only one that has really shown up for Blue has been Deft. Really. Who else? Maybe Spirit. You could actually make a count for Spirit too. But I don't know. It's still a bit weird. But the main thing also, did these 2 teams show us everything that they've had? Because for now, you can say that both of them didn't have that hard of a time in their groups and in their quarterfinals. You know, they didn't play the biggest challenge that they could have. So what does that mean for this semifinals? Will they actually show us things that we've not seen? I know that answer, but, you know. I know that answer. Yes, I do. Let's do as if I don't. That's the thing with actually going on with games that are from 2014. You know how the result is, but you have to act as if you don't, okay? That's the thing. I kind of want to do the EU Masters after that, by the way, because, I mean, live viewing the EU Masters, I cannot actually show the games, but I can at least live view it normally. But there you go. I kind of just want to do that so that it's a different kind of challenge, you know? Maybe I'm just going to turn into an analyst more than anything else here in that at that point here. I don't know. Good thing, by the way. Now I know that the old E for Rise is actually called Spell Flux too. So that's good. The R is not Realm War, but that doesn't matter too much. But okay, so people are 100% for Samsung White 2, and I mean, it makes sense. This team, as I said, looks more dominant than what Samsung Blue is. And yeah, it's just, yeah. And the main thing, as I said, is that they didn't show us everything 100%. They have played a bit cocky in their 3rd game against Team Solo Mid, and immediately after, they just stomped the team. They just stomped Team Solo Mid right after. So you don't really have anything shown from that team. But of course, game 3 was more of a case of ego getting into Samsung White. So we'll see. But of course, they are looking like the best team in the world. So if they play at their supposed level, this should be a quick one. And it will be a quick one, but don't worry. Let's not talk about that. I don't know how the games go inside of the game, okay? So we'll see. And here we are for the first picks and bans for this Samsung Blue against Samsung White. Samsung Blue have won the coin toss, so they were able to choose games 1, 3, and 5, which side they were going to play. And they always chose blue side, which is dumb. Anyway, Tristan and Alistar. On the other side is going to be Rumble, and we'll see what is taken away. But of course, Samsung Blue have always banned Alistar and Zillion in their games, but maybe Zillion is going to be staying for once. I don't know. You have had one extra week of practice. Maybe now you're feeling more comfortable on those champs. Maybe, if you've practiced them a bit more. We will see. And so now Alistar is on 91% bans, and I think he's close to 100% presence in this World Championship. I think he hasn't been touched 2 games. Rise is going to be the 3rd ban for Blue, and so now if Samsung White do not ban the Zillion, it's going to have to get first picked. Well, maybe if they let Lee Sin is going to be that one, but I don't know. No, it's going to be the Zillion. Much better, but of course it's another one of those mid-game centric picks, and I don't see Dade playing that one, so of course, even for Samsung White, they know where this pick is going, and is going into the arms of Heart. Thresh is the last ban also. Okay. I don't really understand the Thresh ban, to be honest, because you know that the Zillion, if you let the Zillion through, you know that it's going to go to support, not to mid lane. Because Dade has too big of an ego to actually play defensive mid laners. What will be the pick for White now as a response to that Zillion? There are 2 things that you can go with for Zillion. You can go for High Burst in a group, okay? Or you can also go for Assassinations. And so right now they have chosen both at the same time, with the Twitch in for Imp and Dandy on his signature Rengar. So that's pretty good. Once again, though, Rengar, well, at that point, wasn't really that much of an assassin. He was more going towards just single target, CC, more than anything. And that is a Yasuo Kayle for the solo lanes. Kayle is abusable. Kayle is 100% abusable, so we will see how that goes right now. But I don't really enjoy that pick 100%, because you're blinding it. If you know what you're going against, I wouldn't actually say no to that Kayle, but right now you're blinding the Kayle. So that's a bit of a yikes, and we'll see how that will go. And the Yasuo is a comfort pick for Dade, so fine, okay. And once again, you have 2 ways of looking at it for the Zillion. You can either go for full assassination, or with full poke, long range, and AoE damage. And that talent does both at the same time, pretty much, actually. But Jace will also work in doing both. So all those picks are actually making sense into what Samsung Blue have picked. Same thing. Is the Kayle going to be able to sustain it all with her W? No, she won't. And yeah, okay. You even have Janna for the AD steroid and everything. So, man. Okay, Samsung White are actually Goomba stomping this draft phase for now. It's not really close. I don't think it is close. And we'll see what that last pick will be. I know what it is, but let's do as if I don't. And I like the reaction of Jad, actually, if you want to listen to that reaction. So let's first talk about that Varus. In this composition, Varus makes it so that you have one play. One play. If the play doesn't work, you cannot teamfight anymore. Varus isn't good. It has no sustained damage, really. Like, it's going to be what? An ultimate, an arrow, one piercing arrow, and that's it. What else are you going to give in damage against the Jace Rengar Twitch? How do you want to get in range? How are you going to get in range? You get in range. Pon and Dandy are flashing on top of you. Zillion will not be able to save you as well. If he does, you're still going to have Jace and Rengar on top of you. Intervention? Oh, yeah, sure. Let's wait 2 seconds. That's fine. And the Zillion is the same thing. Yeah, you might think, oh yeah, Zillion, Lee Sin, sorry. Lee Sin Yasuo combo. Let's go. What? No, you have so much better. Ah, man. No, but to be honest now, what I would have liked from Samsung Blue is a pivot Kale bot and actually get a Malphite. That would have been pretty smart, actually. You know, you pivot the Kale as an ADC, you get a Malphite for top lane, and then you pick in the jungle a Kha'Zix. And I think that would be actually a good counter to what Samsung White have put together. No way. But listen to the reaction from Akali, for the Akali pick, which is gonna come. You're gonna see. Fucking Jat.
Maybe trying to bypass that Janna pick. I'm a little bit blown away that we see it at this juncture.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, especially because Twitch can one-on-one a Varus really easily once he gets played.
Exactly.
Completed.
That's the issue.
You already have Kale and Zillion to protect.
Listen to that reaction.
Carry, so you can pick an immobile lady carry and resurrect him in these fights here. But I wasn't expecting this pick. Maybe it's to counter the Jace poke a little bit. You have the Varus now with the long range poke himself. And if anyone gets too close, if Rengar jumps in, what you can do is use the Varus ultimate to shoot on the team trying to follow and lock them down. And then just solo out the Rengar.
What is going on here?
What is going on here? Dude, it's just a pick. He's just an Akali, dude. Okay, so I'm going to give a massive defense to the Akali. Why does Akali make so much sense in this composition? Same thing. And it's not as good in the composition as a whole, but in the 1v1 is what I want to concentrate on. That's what I want to focus on. Between Kale and Akali. In the 1v1. What does Akali at that point hate? When people can stick to her. When you cannot actually kite them. And how the hell do you want to kite an Akali? How? How do you kite an Akali with 3 dashes on her R? Okay? How do you kite that? You cannot kite an Akali as a Kale. It's not doable. The main thing that you can use is going to be your slow. It's a point and click R. You guys, the R is a point and click for Akali. So she will always be able to stick to you, and the 1v1 is always going to be in favor of the Akali. And it's not good for you, that's for sure. It's not good for Acorn. As a whole, the composition for Blue totally got countered by what Samsung White have put together. There is very little that the team can do. Also, new Akali splash at the bottom here. There was also the Rengar splash. Basically, there were too many splashes. Too many splash arts got changed at that point in 2015. It's crazy. But yeah. I don't know, man. I think that Samsung Blue was really predictable in what they were going to play. And that Samsung White have been able to just easily counter whatever they put together for Samsung Blue. The first pick, Zillion, got exterminated by what Samsung White have put together. Alright, with that being said, we are going to jump into the first game of this series. I already am done with 70% of my water bottle, but that's okay. Shit. I still do have a cold, by the way. I'm not feeling good still. Might be a pharyngitis. I didn't go and check it, but I took medicine and everything, and I'm feeling much better now. I'm a bit nasal still, and that's not that good. Oh, wow, look at that. 10 skins. 10 skins on the map. Anyway. Game 1 between Samsung Blue and Samsung White. The Samsung Duel. The Samsung War, if you want to say. You cannot say Telecom Wars because that's not that one. But the Samsung War. And for now, doesn't look like anything is going to happen really. Just Deft actually going towards the top side of the map. Doesn't have a red trinket. Dade just places a ward and takes a bit of damage. Okay, weird. Without even trying to trade is very weird, and Almada just clears it. Clears it using the sweeper. Just like that. Easy. Mana pot for Mada as well, so I think that's gonna be for expecting a bit of trading. Looper. Spirit places a ward on top of the other one, so now they know what's going on. Everyone's moving back towards the bot lane, except Acorn and Spirit, who are staying in the top lane looking for that blue buff, apparently. You still got time to change that, you still got time to change that, though. Alright. Interesting start, but let's talk about those bot lanes for a minute. Mada has been the most impressive support of the whole tournament. That's no secret. Why do you think he's going to get MVP of the finals as well? Like, 100%. He was the best support in the world at that point. And was still for a while. Even if now it's Keria. Imp most played champ 49 and 43. Wow. Remember, he did get a pentakill on that champ in the quarterfinals against Team Settlement in Game 4. And Samsung Blue have actually done a swap, and Looper is in the top lane. So that's not a good start for the Akali, who got denied. Pretty bad right now. And Heart getting into the jungle. So Samsung might have not really done good in that lane swap here. They didn't know it was going to go on, because would you really want to 2v2 if you are the Twitch in the situation against that long range from Heart and Deft? I don't know. But okay, 3 men are here to respond for Samsung White. Pawn is also the first one with the move here. As they don't see them go out, Dandy is able to smite it. So this will be just a trade of buffs, and that's just going to be 2 for 2 buffs. Not going to be a 3 on any sides here. Acorn able to TP down bot and going to actually maybe get a bit of farm. He is on 6 CS already to the 1 of Looper. Pawn is probably the best Jace at that point in the game. He has really good positioning, and he is the first one that I'm seeing actually doing snap Ws. What I mean by snap Ws, I mean that he is the first one that really uses move forward, move back, move forward, move back, move forward, move back on his W procs of the autos. Acorn able to actually get out before the 4-man dive actually comes through. Good for him, because he would have 100% got dove and not survived that. Looper, level 2. Acorn, also level 2, though. So, not an advantage there for either top laners in terms of XP. Pawn, able to use all of his move speed to get out from that Lee Sin gank. 100% just... Wow, Lee Sin's a great champ, isn't it? Lee Sin is great, isn't he? Anyway. I'm sorry, I hate Lee Sin. If the enemy doesn't make a mistake, you don't have anything that Lee Sin can do in a matchup. In any matchup. Not then, anyway. Wind wall used. Just try and deny maybe 1 auto or 2. Pawn actually going to get exhausted here. Dade ignite the dodge of the tornado. And Dade is able to survive. So Pawn used this flash here and ignite. So no more sums for Pawn. And you have a big shove here for Samsung Blue. Pawn is going to be able to get that wave though. He's not really getting denied here. Especially with Mada coming through. Oh, look at that shock blast. Accelerated shock blast already takes down the creep behind. But of course it is also thanks to the 80 steroid of the shield, of the Eye of the Storm from Mada. A bit of a reminder of the passive of Zillion at that point. it gave you extra XP for every XP that you get. So you get basically more XP for everything that you do compared to the other team, which just means that you get more XP than the enemy. So even if you're behind, you're still probably going to be okay. Samsung White, not looking to start the Drake yet. Vision was on that, but they will actually start it now with Pawn coming through, and this is a 5-man that they can do anyway. No real contest available. And one Samsung Blue are going to try on the other side as a response is going to try and take that top lane turret. As a big wave is shoving in, and the turret is actually full HP, so this will take a while. There is a chain of corruption for Deft, though, which is a bit of a disrupting tool for anyone that wants to come here. So no one really will. But on the other side, yeah, Imp and Mada, Imp mostly, has taken that turret down very, very low already. He is now level 6 also, Imp. Level 3 for Looper, who is in the red health, but just doing a camp. Imp is just going to let the creeps do the work. On the other side, Deft will be able to take that first turret, but there's no extra gold at that point for first turret, so you can just take your time if you are Imp. Because there's no extra gold, really. Are we seeing another wave? No, Imp is just going to take it now. Deft flashing in for the chain of corruption, but it will miss. And Pawn didn't even have flash, so that was just a straight up miss. Ooh, good shock blast. Doesn't deal that much, but you only have a tier and a longsword, so makes sense that it doesn't deal more damage than what it did now. So that's fine. Whenever he will get that man immune, now we're going to see some damage on those shock blasts, of course. And the early tier like this makes for a good time for what Pawn is going to do in this game. Alright. He got the blue buff Pawn, but now it's going to be the bot laners that are coming through in the mid lane. This is an early switch to mid for both bot lanes, but I mean, like this, you're actually giving farm much more efficiently to your solo laners as well. That is a big wave thrown on Acorn here, and he will be able to get all of that, maybe. Maybe he will be able to get all of it. But, I mean, he's already double in CS, so that's not too bad. Dev does get the blue buff, given away to him. It's not like Imp really needs any mana anyway, so he won't really need that. Already a visual cutlass against BF sword. That's fine. Both of them are basically on equal gold. Because the BF sword is much more... the cost was much higher than it is right now, by the way. Just saying. Looper really struggling against camps right now, but he does have that X-Tech revolver now. Okay. Alright. This is just trading in mid lane of waves. Nothing's gonna happen in this lane. We almost have a completed static shift for Dade with that completed Zeal. On the other side, though, Pawn didn't back yet. He only has that tier and another and another longsword, and that's it. Deft takes the expunge damage. A bit of damage extra on that. Acorn now level 6, and Looper's only level 4 with 13 CS. And will he get level 6 from that wave? I do not think so, because that was already 1 level. So, it's going to be hard to get 2 on a single wave. And as you can see, that's what I talked about. The snapping of the forward, back on those auto attacks on the W. Which is something that you did not see back then. Manamune completed, finally, already, for Pawn. I mean, you're only 10 minutes in, and you already have that completed. So, this is pretty big. And the R did stack it, apparently, from what I can see. That's a bit weird, but the R apparently stacks the mana immune. I don't know. I thought you needed to spend mana for that. Was the R before actually mana cost? Did it actually have some mana cost on that? I don't know. Efficient farming from Pawn. 87 CS to 71. The CS gap in the top lane has gone smaller now. 46 to 32. If we look at the vision on both sides of the map, you can see that Samsung Blue have pretty defensive vision on the other side. Same thing for Samsung White, to be honest. You don't have anything farther than the river. And the only lane that is really getting pushed in a bit is going to be that top lane for Samsung Blue. Makes sense. You have that dominant matchup here in the top lane for Acorn, so it makes sense. Dandy gonna try for a gank onto Pawn, onto Dade and Spirit. Good amount of damage from the Q. Dade does get invulnerable. The damage will come through, and Looper gets the first blood. Acorn will also fall thanks to the Bolo Strike. And this will be 2 quick kills and a Drake coming up in 10 seconds. The TP from Acorn was a bit late compared to that of Looper. And that just, actually, that second between the two did a lot for the fight. And I'm sorry about the fact that I'm a bit rusty right now, and that this call on that fight was very bad. I need to get my head back into the game, because it's been a while since I've done that. Blade of the Rune King for Imp at the same time here. And now the solo lanes are behind for Samsung Blue. Because they're both Samsung. For Samsung Blue, you have almost a completed Gunblade for Looper. You have that Wriggles Lantern for Dandy. And a Brutalizer complete for Pawn, who is extremely accelerated. The only one that's holding his own is going to be Deft for now. And that makes sense, because he was in the mid lane, not doing anything. But trading waves with Imp. That's why the CS advantage has not really widened, or anything like that. Imp is standing on a ward. Dade waiting over the wall, but not doing anything. Moby Boots as well, already for Dandy. He is a fed cat. Very fed cat. Hard does have Chrono Shift now. You do not have an eye edge yet for Deft, who's pretty far from it yet. And those are going to be Berserker's Graves instead. You have a Blade of the Ruin King for Imp on the other side, though. We will see how those matchups develop. But now Looper, with that wave, is going to be ahead in CS now on Acorn. Acorn has farmed less than 10 CS in like last 4 minutes. Not a good look, but again, you cannot really go for that. Now Deft actually in trouble with the 1v1 here. Chrono Shift comes through. Hart stays a bit too close. What the hell is he doing? He got Howling Gale and just taken down. He went too far. And Howling Gale takes him on the knock-up. He's not able to flash away. Was he trying to exhaust? Was he just trying to exhaust him? Because, I mean, you don't want to do that. Deft still has a flash. He can get away if he wants to. But no, you just give away another kill now. And that one is over to Imp. So all three of your the laners for Samsung White now are ahead of their opposition. And Acorn now isolated. Spirit and Dade are gonna be taken a bit apart from Acorn. He still has that ultimate gonna be used. Dandy takes a bit of damage. Monsoon comes through. Acorn gonna be taken down from the dash from Looper. Imp with a bit of damage. The poison comes through. Spirit misses the kick. Comes onto Imp. But he will be able to flash away. Now, Dandy gonna be ultimate. Gonna have the ulti of Yasuo used on top of him. But it will not be enough to take him down. And that is another 30 kills. You have an Akali on 3-0 and 2 now. Which is the worst thing that could happen in this game. With Gunblade. Yeah, okay. You do not want to see that if you are Samsung Blue. Now, both of your solo laners are 0 and 2. Your jungler is also 0 and 1. The only one that didn't die yet is Deft, but he's just trading waves and not able to do anything in the fights. He was not even in that fight, really. As you can see, he's stuck in the mid lane. But so they isolate Acorn, which is very well done. Looper able to just finish it in a 1v1 against him. Imp goes a bit forward. Spirit thinks he can kick him backward into the turret, but that's not the case. And Imp is able to flash away after that. The tornado and then the R from Dade is not enough to finish the kill. And Looper gets a second one in this fight. And Deft is just an observer in this. Coming in late. And pickaxe extra for Pawn now, who is massive. Massive too. Without a kill, though. 2-0 and 3 for Dandy at the same time. Looper isolated a bit, but now Dandy actually comes through into Heart. A lot of damage onto him, but Chrono Shift will not be used yet. 300 HP for him. And Samsung White are now starting to get into the territory of blue. Dade, the win wall is good, and that is just not going to give anything else. Looper actually tried to TP on that, which was a very short TP, but he cancelled it, so the cooldown is only going to be 200 seconds instead of 300, which is 3 minutes and 20 seconds instead of 5. I think that's the case. Good amount of damage onto Dade, even with the shield. With the flow shield coming through for Dade, and it was not enough to completely negate the damage. There's no armor on any members of Samsung Blue for now. None of them. That Shock Blast will not connect, but it was close. Because Acorn almost walked into it. I just want to see how much damage it can deal, really, for now, those Shock Blasts. But we won't see that yet. Drake in 30. Samsung Blue cannot afford to really fight for that, but they have to at the same time. If they don't fight for it, this is just the end of the game. Because Samsung White are in such a lead. Heart takes another burst. And Dandy's going to jump on top of Dade and Spirit now. Bolo Strike comes in. Mata gets isolated. Imp actually goes down thanks to the damage of Deft. Spirit able to stay alive barely, but Pawn will finish off Dade. First kill for him now. And yeah, even plays that don't look that bad for Samsung Blue are still traded. You have Feral Flare for Dandy now. He's a big cat, and those Shock Blasts really start to hurt now. And the Drake is once again going to go for Samsung White now. No contest. No contest available. And this is 8,000 gold lead at 18 minutes for Samsung White, who are massively ahead. And that was without Manamune yet complete. Miramana, you know. Imp was a bit off on his positioning. He didn't have flash as well, but it really won't cost them too much. As you can see, even he is 1,000 gold ahead on Deft. And the biggest lead, of course, is going to be that top lane and mid lane with over 2,000 gold in the lead for both of them. And probably jungle too, but I didn't see the number. My bad. It's just that Samsung White have played really fast in this game. I would have seen Looper go on to that, but he didn't want to. Playing it safe. He can 100% win the 1v1, though. He is so far ahead. Has that Seeker's Arm Guard as well for defense. I don't really see him losing the 1v1. Oh, that's a Last Whisper complete for Pawn now. Still has that Brutalizer as well. He is a very big Jace. Very, very big Jace. Samsung Blue trying to look for a bit of control around that Baron Pit. Dandy. Okay, doesn't want to go into Heart like that because he doesn't know what is behind. He just saw Deft and no one else. Oh my god, those Shock Blasts though. And with the fact that now they know that 4 people were in the top lane, Imp is able to just get that mid turret. TP comes through from Looper. Actually jumps onto Heart. Acorn completely isolated and invulnerable now for a bit, but will go down. Mata does go down. Chrono Shift comes onto Dade, but that will not save him really. exhaust, but Looper is able to dash away. Big damage onto Deft again. That will be a double kill for Pawn. 3 for 1 in the end for Samsung White. And, yeah. big domination here in this first game for Samsung White. They're not going to try for the Baron. It's only 21 minutes in, even if they are very far ahead. It's a good play. You don't want to ever give them an opportunity to come back into this game. I mean, they don't really have an opportunity. You have a 73 CS Kale and 117 CS Yasuo against 172. You're not really having a good time. In this game right now, the composition of Samsung Blue got completely shut down. There's nothing that they can do in the fights. Nothing they can do in split pushing as well. Like they completely got countered on all parts of the map. Nothing can happen in this. And Mata playing a bit alone here, but knows that there's going to be support eventually. He won't die from that. Imp jumps onto Spirit. Big amount of damage. That was over half health. Because Spirit doesn't have any resistances. He just has a bit of extra HP thanks to the Spirit Stone, and that's it. He is on top of a ward as well. So they know that he's backing. And immediately, thanks to that knowledge, they are actually going to go for the Baron. And there is no response for Samsung Blue. It's already under half health. Oh my god. Yeah. 22-minute Baron. 22-minute Baron. Man, just because of one play and one ward, they have been able to just exactly know what to do in this situation here. So they were like, okay, so Imp, you actually chunked down the jungler. He is backing on top of a ward right now. And was that ward seen by Spirit? I do not think so. He went in the bush, but it was for a split second, so I don't think he saw it. Oh, Imp. Gonna get close to Dade. Maybe jumping on top of him now. Yes, that's a lot of damage. The wind wall will come through. Dade staying behind that. Safe behind that. Okay. Sorry, there's another fight. I will come back to it. I have a message to go through. So, 1 minute. I will come back to this fight right now. Boom. So, Samsung Blue trying to get into a contest for that vision in the Drake or something like that. I do not know really what they're doing. There's nothing to do here. They're actually just going to jump onto Imp. A lot of damage thrown on top of him, and all the ultimates are going to be used. But now, the response is massive on the side of Samsung White. And this is just 3 quick kills. Oh, sorry. 3 quick kills. Heart going to have Chrono Shift. Going to use it. But Pawn is right here tanking. And Looper just decimated him. The damage is massive. And Samsung White, with this unorthodox composition, let's say, able to 100-0. The Zillion. And they don't go for the inhib, which I'm fine with. This is good. This is good. So, we've got all of Samsung Blue right now. Standing in the mid lane. They cannot do anything else anyway. If you go on a side lane, you're going to have Dandy and Looper jumping on top of you. Maybe with Pawn even. Or Imp. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do here. Yes, you were able to catch Imp twice. But that cost you your lives and all of your ultimates as well. So, not that great of a play. Heart is destroyed. He tried to get into the jungle to get a bit of vision, maybe. But that's not wise. And he immediately goes down. He has no items as well. Like, he has a Spirit Stone, he has boots, he has a tier, and that's it. So, Zillion is an ultimate bot, and that's all he is. Look at that. 3 ultimates used for killing Imp. And they just, all 3 go down immediately. 1 kill for each as well, which is great. Good kill distribution as well. And just those extra 2 kills, that was basically just an ace. Yeah, that was an ace. This was an ace. Just completely chasing them and getting the ace. This Samsung White team is looking damn good right now in this first game. An extra BF sort for Pawn now. 5-0 and 8, 4-0 and 8, and 6-0 and 7 for the top side of the map for Samsung White. Meanwhile, I mean, it's just the composition got completely shut down for what Samsung Blue wanted to do, and so they have not been able. Oh my god, the damage onto Acorn is massive, over half health like that. Dandy's never going to go down on this. The flash out from the ultimate and Imp, the Monsoon is massive. Wow, just completely takes out Daddy and Spirit, and this is just going to be a massive cleanup, double kill for Slooper, and that is a full ace. And everyone is just going to walk to that mid lane. They're even going to tank it. Tank the turret. And wow. Just wow. What a play. And I think this is the game right now. Or not, because actually the timers are so short that they are not going to be able to finish the game right now. But the control is just... They're 20,000 gold ahead at 26 minutes. This is... not fun for Samsung Blue, but incredibly fun for Samsung White. They are looking like the best team in the world. 100% they are. Because this is not fringe play. Look at that damage from Dandy immediately onto Acorn. That was 60% health like that. And then Imp flashes out. Okay, so I thought it was a flash out of the ultimate, the Chain of Corruption. But no, it was just a flash out of a Q only. Just a piercing arrow. And then Looper flashes a wall, gets an R off, and gets a second R off, and gets 2 kills. Just like that. Chrono Shift has not been able to do anything in this game, you know? Like, because there's so much damage and burst that, yeah, maybe you're going to save someone, but he's going to die immediately right after. You have 2 items on Deft, not even 2 items yet on Dade. I don't even think he's going to get it. I don't. You have an Essence Reaver for Pawn. Not an item we see often. But it's basically a blue build. So, I mean, okay. This is blue build Jace. That will actually go with a red item right after, though. It's going to be a black cleaver, so. Whew! That was 40% health onto Deft. That hurts. That really hurts. 40% health onto Deft like that is not a fun time. Dandy. Stealthed up. He is ready for if anyone comes into that turret, and immediately he just gets destroyed. Deft ultimate from Spirit to get Jace out of him, but okay, Looper actually gonna use the Zanya, and he's gonna be okay, and Pawn able to get another one. Godlike 7-0 and 11. Monsoon used to keep themselves healthy. A second inhibitor goes down, 3 extra kills. 3 to 24, 24,000 gold up. There are still 2 creeps to actually have the extra damage on those turrets. And the second wave comes in, and this is just going to be both Nexus turrets. And the Nexus itself right after. Ladies and gentlemen, Samsung White in 27 minutes are able to decimate Samsung Blue in this first game. We're going to jump into the second immediately. I'm just going to let myself have this time here, those 3 minutes. I'm just going to drink a bit. Just a bit of time off. 1 minute. Okay, you'll leave me an extra 2 minutes. I'll come back. 1 minute, sorry. And we are back. Sorry for the extra time that I took off, but we are ready for game 2. We are ready for game 2 between Samsung Blue and Samsung White. So, sorry. First game was interesting, let's say. Now, it was interesting because, to be honest, they shouldn't have gone that way. It should have been... it shouldn't have been as one-sided, but it was. It was that one-sided because, I mean, to be honest, it was just Samsung White having 100% the best composition and flexing a bit. And we will see how the second game is going to go. Is it going to go any different, or is it going to be another shellacking by this team? We will see. I don't know what to expect, really, in this second game. So we'll see what is going to happen. Hopefully Samsung Blue make it a bit more entertaining, let's say. It would be nice to have at least a bit of a harder series for Samsung White to actually have an opponent. Would be nice. It would be nice. All right, here we go. Here we go. Game 2. Samsung White are on the blue side this time. It's going to be Thresh Rumble. So they're the same bands, actually, right now. And Twitch actually going to be banned by Imp. By the team with Imp. Okay. On the other side, Zillion LSR. Okay. And is it going to be the Maokai as well? Yeah, as the third ban. Or maybe the Rise. Because the Rise has been the first pick for many teams. And Samsung White is no different. No, it's going to be Tristana. And instead of the Rise, they're going to go with the Maokai. They give the priority to the Maokai more, which I understand. Because Maokai is as strong as Rise, if not even stronger. Swin itself, not bad. Either one was a good pick anyway. What Maokai does give you that Rise doesn't, because Rise is very good with the damage output and the fact that he has an easy CC setup with the Rune Prison. Well, Looper has the same thing, you know, Twisted Advance. Same easy CC setup, but at the same time, he has that extra tankiness that the Rise may not have. Even if Rise goes pretty tanky, but not as tanky. Lucian hovered. If I'm what, I take Rise then. I take Rise and I flex it in mid lane. If they don't take it, I take it myself and I flex it in the mid lane. I don't know, man. That seems like a bit of an oversight. I would take it in the mid lane. But if you take a Kog'Maw as well, you're gonna have a lot of magic damage now. Or maybe you just let it open. It's not that big of an issue. If you actually do punish it in the early game, it's not going to be that big of an issue. If he falls behind, Rice takes a while to actually get going after that. If he does fall behind. But the thing is, we've seen basically OMG versus Najin. We've seen that they didn't actually punish the Rise 3 games in a row. And he has been able to do... to wreak havoc inside of Najin. Rengar core key, okay. Interesting switch. Okay. It's going to be Rengar core key. So another Rengar for Dandy. 2 in a row now. 2 in a row for Dandy now. For Rengar. Knowing that he didn't play it yet, I think, at Worlds before this series. Irelia. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that, Irelia. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm not okay with that, Aurelia. In this composition, you're already very short range, and you're playing against possibly another Jace now. If you pick these two, you're going to play into another Jace now, 100%. And so what Samsung White are going to be able to do is just going to be poking you out, look for a team fight whenever you're low, and you're not going to have a good time after that. How are you team fighting if you are already chunked out more than the Samsung White team? Your poke is not there. Rise makes a bit more sense. That's better. But again, short range. It's still short range. So, I mean, the Jace is not bad here again. The Jace is once again not bad for Samsung White. What is going to be the support with that? Lockup. Okay. I'm okay with the Morgana too. It's lockup potential against a team that is very short in range. So if you just jump in there, well, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that Morgana. What else could you pick in this? Sorry. No, Morgana's good. That pick would have been fine too. That Annie, actually. Yeah, that would have been fine as a support. Lissandra? Ew. Ew. Ew plus. Okay. What? Is this a Galio top? Okay, that changes things. Huh. I don't know what to think of that. There's a good amount of AP damage, yeah. Maokai, Corki, Morgana. Sure. I don't know, because the thing is, the ultimate is not going to be as useful as in other compositions. Basically, what I think is that this is not, like, the best team to play Galio against, is what I'm thinking. I did not expect that Galio, though. I did not expect that at all. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Huh. I mean, the matchup would be good, probably, against Maokai. Just because of the fact that you are able to sustain off of his damage. So that's fine. But see, I would have maybe been okay if the Galio was picked by Samsung White, actually. What the hell is he doing? He didn't take this award. Looper didn't take award. Fuck me. Oh, that was funny. What are you looking to do into that Galio now? I'm wondering. Are you looking for a lane swap into Galio? Yes or no? I don't think you would, because he has good wave clear, actually, thanks to that Q&E. I do remember how Galio was back then, by the way. I do. Oh, Dandy, spotted. Careful, that's a 3-man in there, but they are a bit scared, but Dandy takes a lot of damage. He's going to be able to flash away. Ignite is on him. Heal, but Dandy is going to be able to finish the kill. One first blood for Samsung Blue, and this is going to be it. Ghost, Flash, Ignite used by Samsung Blue. On the other side, Exhaust, Flash, Heal. No real advantage gained in Summoners, but a big advantage gained for Dade, who has a tier. Oh, that is massive. A tier at 130 is massive. First blood given to him gives him the tier. Oh, man. That is going to be a fast stacking rise. Very fast stacking. And so now, of course, with the level 1 going awry, you are going to look for lane swap. That is always how it's going to happen for these teams at that point in the game. In 2014, 2015, and early 2016. If something goes wrong, lane swap. Yeah, that's always how it's going to go. And I mean, if you're blue, you should know that this is going to go on. So, I don't know. Dade able to zone away pawn at least a bit. Double buff for Spirit already, whereas Dandy is a bit behind in the clear. Makes sense. Samsung White with a 69. Nice. Hard looking for a bit of a roam, apparently. For control on that Drake. No level 3 on any of the... So, Pawn looking to go down now. He knows that the Drake has started. Ward over the pit. Shock Blast hits onto Acorn. He is at less than 200 HP now. Oh my god, Acorn just dies! No way, Acorn just went down. Spirit very low. The Drake is stolen. Pawn steals the Drake. He gets the second kill. Double for him. He does go down. The Shock Blast didn't come through before the kill. Heart able to flash Howling Gale. Twisted advance. Looper gets an extra kill. Dade will be able to reciprocate though. Yes, with the flash. Double kill for him. But what the hell happened? What the hell happened? Acorn went solo, took two attacks from the Drake and went down. Look at that. He takes an extra one and goes down. And then Pawn, able to get in there. He used the hammer and gets the Drake. The smite was early from Spirit. And then he flashes and uses the E and gets the extra kill. Yes, he does go down. But that's like best case scenario. You get 3 kills for 3, and you steal the Drake in a position where you're never supposed to steal it. Yes, that does leave you with a 3-0-1 rise, which can carry the game. Oof, good Shock Blast though, and you have to be a bit careful about that. That rise is accelerated, and that's not a good thing. But Pawn is also accelerated now. 2-1-1 in a matchup that isn't very good for him. So Acorn now on that Galio, able to get a bit of extra farm now. An 18-3. Yeah, sure. But last game, the CS advantage didn't really amount to anything. Now you do have a double buff on Deft, so that's a bit of a rough time. Catalyst the Protector at 5 minutes for Dade. Whew, that's, yeah, interesting. Ooh, that dog writing didn't connect. Somehow. I'm gonna be able to get that those CS pretty easily. Oh, well, no, that worked. It did freeze. It did freeze. That's okay. With those 5 extra CS, if he gets them all, Pawn is actually going to be even. He doesn't get 2. But still, 29-32. That's not too bad. But that Catalyst is massive for Dade, though. This is a different game than the first one for sure already in the early game. That was a very questionable play by Samsung Blue. Once they saw the ward, I don't know about that, you know. And then Acorn completely whiffing on how he was supposed to do the Drake with the aggro and everything. He was only level 1. It's not that Pawn is ahead, by the way. He is not ahead of his lane matchup, but he's ahead of the curve of the game. But the Rise did get started pretty quickly, though, which is interesting. He is a Rise mid, which is also interesting. Doesn't get those extra 2 CS, unfortunately, Looper. But oddly timed. But now, the CS actually got back to even between Looper and Acorn after a 15 CS lead, but of course in different matchups, so that's okay. It doesn't mean much. Dandy looking for a level 6 probably with that camp. I didn't see his XP level, though, where the XP bar was. So probably not. But Spirit on top of a ward. Very deep ward. Very deep control ward. Pink ward. Sorry. Okay, Dandy is over half. Yeah. Blue or red immediately. There's no blue. So red Interruptors, and you're going to get that. Wraiths. I know. Wraiths. Look at that big Wraith. Is the red going to be enough, actually? Yes, it is. Wow, that's a lot of XP for the red. Mata has Black Shield. It will get used, and just another Dark Binding, and Mada gets away easily. Oh, Dandy actually jumps onto Heart. Heart has no flash used. Acorn will use his. Culling comes through. Dandy able to just get behind safety. And Acorn will TP after going low and using his flash. Okay. On the map, Samsung White are just better. They're just better on the map compared to what Samsung Blue do. Okay. I don't think Mada saw that there was a creep that was hitting him, but okay. It's individualities that made the Samsung Blue team, and just cockiness from Samsung White's side. But Samsung White are 100% the better team, and it shows in how they're playing this game. Yes, the advantage early was for Samsung Blue. They got the first blood. They got a rise that went with a tier before the creeps, which is massive. But he is not able to impact the game in any other way. Just shoves waves and gives them to Pawn, who is able to farm safely. 69 to 69 in farm in the mid lane. Very nice. And yeah, nothing else. Those are Sorks. Interesting. But once again, I don't know about this Galio pick in this game, because you're never going to get to use the Idol of Durand effectively. I think that's the name of the ultimate. I think it's the name of the ultimate. I'm not sure, but I think it's the name of the ultimate. It's been a while since I've seen the names, but I think that's it for the old Galio. Drake control once again for Samsung Blue, but if it goes like the first, I wouldn't give it past Samsung White to steal that Drake again. And Pawn to get it. I really hope that doesn't happen, for their sake. Because if it does, then Samsung Blue Spirits is going to be completely down, and not just talking about the player. Alright. Aggroed. The Drake is aggroed. There is no flash on Acorn. He cannot really do anything. Spirit getting in there, trying to get it. He will be able to get it. He does get away, but no. The twisted advance and the flash out from Spirit does get it. The Idol of Durand, pretty good actually. Gets 3 on top of him. Dade gets exploded by Jace. Pawn gets a double kill. The Chalk Blast does connect, and Looper gets the third. John able to get away, and Spirit is under the turret. Are they going to try for the dive? He does not have flash. He does not have ultimate. Tries to heal himself. And the twisted advance comes through. Pawn gets a third, but he will just go down from the creeps. He had the flash. He tried to flash away, but he will just go down from the creeps. Unfortunate. And that is a... how much? A 4 for 3 for Samsung White, but Samsung Blue did get the Drake. So in the end, the play is pretty even, actually. All things considered. Like, Spirit gets away from that by what miracle, I don't know. Ah, I see. So it was a 3-man ultimate by Acorn that actually saved Spirit, but then he took too much damage. So Acorn took too much damage, so he did go down. The acceleration gate does give Looper enough of a gap closer with the flash to get the kill onto Deft. And once again, yeah, it's just... Pawn is actually playing out of his mind. I'm sorry, but he is playing really well in this game. In this series as well. I mean, game 1 was also 100% just him. Imp and Mada looking for that bot lane turret. It's only at a half health. No turret fell in this game yet. With a lane swap early, but okay. I guess the Drake play did stop Samsung Blue in exactly doing what they wanted to do. The calling is not going to be that good from Deft. Oh, Dark Binding does connect onto Deft, but the only thing that will connect is an extra Phosphorus Bomb, so no real danger for Deft. But it's great. You know, Corki has been a pick that we've not seen in the Worlds at Worlds 2014 early on, and then at one point he immediately just got a lot of play. I don't know what caused it, but they finally probably just realized that, oh yeah, this champion exists, and he's actually pretty good in most comps. Oh, that wasn't an accelerated shock blast, but okay. Once again, as you can see, Pawn on his movement is really good at playing with his W. He is the first one that I really see playing with the W in the way that is what it should be played with. Like, Dandy with that wriggles, looking to play around Pawn, which makes sense. He is your strongest player. You only have a 1,000 gold lead in this game this time. They do see that Spirit is on the blue. It will be gifted over to Dade. That was a bit of a scary one, but Dade does get the blue buff. Trinity Force for Imp. No eye edge yet for Deft because he went with the tier 2 boots. Acorn zoned away once again, and he's gonna probably TP. Howling Gale. Monsoon. That was a great play from Hart. Will Imp go down before the TP is able to finish? Deft actually almost goes down. Looper gets him and Hart at the same time. That's a double kill. Spirit does get the shield from Acorn, and that's just 2 quick kills in response to just the kill onto Imp. A very good TP from Looper. And Dade is going to get jumped on by Dandy. A lot of damage onto Dandy though. But ultimate and an extra Q. And Dandy finishes Dade. Spirit though, looking to go around. The hunter becomes the hunted. Dandy, less than 300 HP now. Gets the small wolf, the Merc Wolf. So, around the map now, you have great plays coming through from Samsung White. Hart face checks onto Dandy. He will be able to get away. Dandy will be able to get away. The next play that you're waiting is going to be on that third Drake. And it's going to depend if this goes for Samsung White. The game is pretty much over. If they go for Samsung Blue, they live to fight another Drake. Not another day, another Drake. You have 2.5 items on Pawn already. He is massively accelerated. I don't know what Dandy's looking for with that Kindle gem, but that is extra CDR, so that's fine. Rod of Age is complete, and a lot of magic resist for Looper. First turret of the match does go down in the top lane, thanks to the Winions. Dade had a very good start, but now is falling a bit behind from Pawn. Imp actually jumps in, gets the auto off after the Valkyrie, and that's another kill for Imp. Imp has flash still. He's not at risk. He is not at risk of dying. Calling does come through from Deft as well. And the only summoners used were a heal and... Oh, Dandy face checking onto Dade. A lot of damage onto Dandy. Has flash. Will be able to get away. That was a lot of damage. The Drake is coming, but Samsung Blue don't have control on that area of the map. They do not have control. So Dandy is going to be able to get away, come back on the map with an extra pink ward, and at the same time, Samsung Blue are not going to be able to do that Drake. Dark Binding onto Dade, and the Shock Blast takes Dade very low. Now we see a bit of convergence in mid lane because, well, Looper has done his job. He has gotten the top turret. Ooh, the Binding connects onto Hart, and now you have Imp coming in. Monsoon, will it be able to save Hart? I don't think so. Valkyrie comes through. One more to flash in to finish the kill. Hart goes down a 5th time. And Imp able to finish his 3rd kill. Has the sword shoes and a Trinity. And you're fighting a 4v5 without your support. And with a huge amount of poke and crowd control for Samsung White. So the Drake, they're not even really going to try to contest for it. And it's going to go down. Will that mid turret also fall? Yes, it will, because it was very, very low. overall, I'm just impressed by how Samsung White are playing, to be honest. It's reminiscent of how teams really are going to look for their play in 2017 and 18. And it just shows that this team, together as 5 at that time, were 100% the best team in the world. And Spirit is going to get caught and immediately goes down. Oh, Dandy, though, takes a lot of damage. The ultimate comes through from Acorn, and that's going to be an extra kill here. Dade gets his 5th. Looper doesn't really take damage, and now completely CC. Dade will go down. Acorn also very low. Will also fall after the transformation of the gun. Double kill for Pawn. 7, 2, and 4. And we have Looper completely unkillable in this fight. If you isolate Spirit and you don't have depth in those fights, the amount of MR that Maokai has is deadly. You cannot do anything. And so yeah, especially with a 4-1 and 6 on top of him now. Looking for the blue buff now, this Samsung team. They are going to get it. And now Dade falling on hard times. So yeah, Spirit gets caught out. Just one ultimate from Dandy and just completely destroyed. Then Dandy, yes, does go down from the damage of Dade. And then they try to turn onto Looper, but he takes half health in the whole fight, which is nothing. Not even half health. He's still fine. Look at that. Now he's on half health because he goes to the turret. This is massive. Looper is unkillable. And now he has an extra glacial shroud now. So if 80s could kill him before, now they can't. You're going to need a lot of time for that one. Dandy, Feral Flare, has that Negatron Cloak as well now. Gets even tankier himself. I don't like that Vamp Scepter for Imp, but okay. He's going to go Bloodthirster. Yay. I don't like Bloodthirster second on Imp. On Corki. I don't think I feel like it actually fits with the theme of Corki. Acorn. Looking to fight Looper, but I don't think you won that fight. You're 3 levels down. Dandy comes in. And that's just going to be Acorn down. Doesn't even have ultimate. Acorn is level 10, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. Such massive discrepancy in the top lane. In the mid lane as well when it comes to XP. You have 2 levels for both Pawn and Looper. And they are starting the Baron. Deft is staying in the bot lane. You have a 3-on-5 at best for Samsung White now. This Baron is not done for doing the Baron. But if they do, I mean, good. Spirit completely isolated. Not going to be able to get in there. And that's going to be an extra Baron for Samsung White now. Extra objective. And the biggest one you could get in the game. Massive. You're at 21 minutes in the game. It's massive to get that Baron now. And Deft is not going to be able to get that turret as well. He got 1, but never going to be able to get 2. Oh, quality changed. That was weird. Quality changed here. It's a cleaner for some reason. Pawn gets his blue buff. He has been massive, but at the same time, I kind of want to give some respect all over to Dandy, who has played those fights very well. Yes, he did die 4 times. Boo-hoo. Deaths are not what matter here. He has set up a lot of kills for Pawn. Comes in with another ultimate. Will not be that useful this time. Dade clears that wave. Acorn comes in, level 11 now, but you don't want to jump in this. You don't want to jump in this. What a burst damage. What an amount of burst damage. Onto Deft and Heart. Bot lane of Samsung Blue have not had a good time, and it's not because of... Heart takes another Shock Blast and almost goes down, by the way. And it's not because of Imp and Mata. I mean, in this game, a bit more. Yes, Heart did die a few times in an isolated 1v2, which wasn't good. But at the same time, it was just also because of the rest of the map completely falling apart. Acorn had 2 woeful games. I'm gonna really say it. Those games were not good from Acorn, both the first and the second, on picks that, well, one is unconventional and the other one is just not that unconventional. It's a Kale. We have seen Kale already a few times, but another Shock Blast takes deft under 50% in this, and not good. Hart takes another one, and he's almost dead. Drake starting in 10. Might have fired the Dark Binding, but he knows the timing normally. Never mind. They don't know the timing. It was just slightly off. Okay, anyway. Third Drake for Samsung White. They're now 10,000 gold in the lead. And are looking in prime position to finish this game again. And going 2-0 up against their sister team. Their sister team who has had the number on them the whole season, apparently. The only team to really take them down in the best of 5 ever is that Samsung Blue team. For the last 6 months, apparently. Bloodthirster for Pawn, which again, not really a fan of. If you want some lifesteal, maybe try and find another item. Although there probably aren't any other than that. So, okay. You're not going to go with the Blade of the Ruined King. And that's it. You only have those 2 items that really give lifesteal. So, okay. I mean, there's a QSS, Mercurial Scimitar, but I don't know. You don't want that either. Maybe a bid for Acorn, maybe. But if you put yourself in a situation where Acorn actually is here to hit you, you're not playing your game right. 2.5 items for Dade. He does have that Seraph's complete. Imp, Balls of Steel gets under the turret and gets 2 autos off. Okay. Everyone converging in that mid lane. Looking to get an extra bit of damage on that turret. Oh, Dade actually gets hit. And that's a little bit of an amount of damage here. Acorn taken under half. Deft takes half of his HP as well. Just a yikes. And all 5 members of Samsung now getting into the base of blue. Ooh, another big Shock Blast. And a rocket for good measure. Missile Barrage. Right in there as well for Deft. And there's no way that they reciprocate. Okay, Pawn actually gets hit by the ultimate from Acorn. But Looper protects him. Gets in there. Imp flashes the wrong side. And goes down. From the damage of Dev. But now Dade isolated. Jace does go down. Dade goes down to the 1v1 between Dandy and Spirit. Dandy wins it! Oh my god, the damage from that W and Q from Dandy. I don't know the names of the abilities of Rengar. But the amount of damage from that is massive. And Heart just looks on in abject horror as his whole team dies. And there's nothing he can do about it. Mata gets hit by the Howling Gale. Okay. But the inhibitor does go down. So Jace did go down in that fight, but now he has a Yomu's. Oh no. So Flash Rune Prison, followed by a Flash Idol of Durand. So they really wanted Pawn, by the way. And look at that Flash. Oh, he flashes the wrong way. Imp with a questionable play. And Dandy on the side. 4 stacks. Gets the 5th. Gets the W heal. And is able to turn that 1v1 around. Ooh. Imp actually going with a Blade. Blade of the Ruined King. Which I hate even more. It's worse. You're supposed to stay long ranged. You're not supposed to get in range to actually proc the Bilgewater Cutlass active. What the hell, dude? Same thing. You're not supposed to get in range to actually get autos off. It's what I understood too now about Corky, you know? You want to stay far. I mean, it depends on the comp, but 90% of the time you want to stay far. Don't actually get in range to get autos off. If you do get an auto off, well, it's just that you feel comfortable in the game and you may be trying to finish a kill off or something like that, but normally you're just trying to use your poke. And Samsung White looking for a second Baron. Not something they've done all tournament yet. They never went for a second Baron yet. But now the Baron is at 2,000 HP. It's already down. It's destroyed. Dandy jumps onto Spirit. The rebounds. Oh my god, Dandy. Really good on Rengar, by the way. Wow. And now with that Youmuu's as well. Looking to continue the chase. Gets slowed. Not going to be able to catch Dade and Acorn in this situation here. But if it continues... Oh, Acorn's going to isolate himself to try and keep Dade alive. But that chase is going to take a bit of time. But with those Moby boots, yeah, it won't happen. It doesn't even try to use the R. No Idol of Durant coming through. The pocket pick of a certain legendary mid laner named Faker is not having a good time right now. In this form, by the way. I'm talking about this form of Galio. This Galio is known as Faker's pocket pick. He gets it out whenever the team against him is full AP. And it makes perfect sense to actually go with that. Same thing. It makes perfect sense to go with that nowadays. When you have a lot of AP on the other side too. I would also say Mundo in the top lane when you have full AP against you. But, yeah. The old Mundo. Not the new one. 17,000 goal lead for Samsung White now. QSS for Pawn. He does get it. We have another... Okay, so that's 2 Solari plus another on the way. They really want those Solari shields. Dandy, look at that. One bush, gets out of the second, bam! He played that very well. Played that like a Rengar main. Or someone that really knows how to play Rengar at least. I'm excited to see some actual good plays, you know? Because at that point, it was not certain to get good plays. But here we are. Some actual good plays from a Rengar here. And also Jace. I mean, you could say arguably it was the other team that did the bad job. But yeah. Calling comes through. 31 minutes is longer than their average for Samsung White. But they're still well in control. Well in control and are just taking their time a bit more. Sapling comes through. Spirit and Acorn. Not going to happen there, boys. Spirit instead takes a huge burst from the Shock Blast. From a 4-item Jace. Nowadays, that would actually 100-0 you, but not then. Then you did 50%, and you're good. You actually did your thing. Good job. Just like that. Just like that, the same thing onto Deft. Yep. Looper, once again, just trying to tank. So that the wave doesn't take it first. And Deft is going to get jumped on by Dandy and Looper. Completely decimated. Heart goes down too. Acorn is next to follow. The Idol of Duran doesn't do anything. Both Nexus turrets will fall. The wave in the ball lane is also there. Good temper. Good. It was just very nice to see. They played it slow. They waited for the wave to come into the base. And they ended the game. Oof. Don't look at the bottom right corner, by the way. That is not good. And, okay. 2-0 is the lead now. And that shows you mental distress. Mental distress. So, we are going on to game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't think that this one is ever going to turn back in favor of Samsung Blue. Like, damn. How hurt Spirit was here. Yeah. You're not going to have a good time. Jack looks sad. Even that laugh is no. He looks sad for the players, actually, I feel. Anyway, jumping straight into game 3. I've waited too long on game 2, so we're getting into game 3 immediately. I'm sorry if this series I haven't done really the best job to actually cast it this time. Alright, how will that game 3 pan out? I know it does, and you've seen the time remaining anyway, so... Blue, back on blue side. White, back on red side. Zillion Alistar. Maokai Rumble on the other side for white. I don't think Acorn would want to play that. But it's just that Galio in the game too never really was supposed to be a pick here that you wanted to take. Against a comp with so much range on the other side, you don't want that. Galio is good when you have things that come into you. They don't have to come onto you. Just Rengar has to. That's it. And Maokai, I guess. But those are not the targets that you want as Galio. Jace is going to be the ban for blue. After 2 games of dominance from Pawn, he's going to get banned. And the Thresh stays on the bans for white, even if I hated Heart's performance on it. Especially in game 1 against Cloud9. And blue forces the first pick, Rengar now, to deny it from Dandy. They are denying the pick from Dandy. And I'm just going to see a Twitch rise? No, not even a rise yet. Okay. Interesting. Not sure about that. Twitch Jana, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Yes, Twitch has been pretty strong in this tournament, but I'm not sure about picking this over other champions here. Like that rise. I'm just waiting for the rest of the picks here. I don't really have much to say here about the first 3 picks. They're pretty standard in the meta at that point, but it's a bit weird for white to have picked their bot lane immediately. It shows that they don't really have that much confidence in the matchup against Deft and Heart. If they are really looking to 100% get their safety picks like that. I'm not okay with that. Sona. Don't lock that. The fuck? So, Rise of Sona. Interesting. This is pre-change Sona, so she doesn't have the shield or anything. Okay. I think if they are picking the Kassadin, they want to force blue to respond with a Yasuo. They want to force blue to respond with a Yasuo if they are actually picking the Kassadin. But this composition is very mid-game focused, and I'm not okay with having a Kassadin for late. Alongside that. Okay. Kassadin blind. So, to me, that does answer Yasuo. That does give an answer Yasuo. But at the same time, that gives pretty easy tab eyes. Ninja tab eyes. You're a bit stuck if you're blue now. Because you have picked... Okay. That's weird. That is weird. If you pick that, your damage is low. And if you go with a Rengar that isn't tanky, well, your tankiness would be low then. And you wouldn't have a front line. They're stuck. Blue is stuck. That Corki is dumb. That Corki is so dumb if you pick it. Don't pick AP into the Kassadin. Okay. Maybe the best solution they had? I don't know. This is an interesting case. Oh, it's a top lane Kassadin. It's a top lane Kassadin. Of course. Well, yeah, of course you can flex it. Of course you can flex it and give yourself the good matchup in the mid lane. Yeah, why wouldn't you? I'm a bit dumb about that. Yeah, of course it's a flex. So, any way that this went, White would have gone themselves what they wanted from the pick and ban phase. So the Rengar actually handicapped Blue so much in what they had to pick. Okay. And then you ban the Jace and you don't want to go with the Z, you know? But the thing is, there was an answer for any pick that was picked 4 and 5. There was an answer for every pick 4 and 5. So, this is bad, man. You're going to have a bad time. It's damn impressive. The way that they actually got the picks to go their way, no matter what, for Samsung White. It was really, really good. And that game is... Ooh. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about the game. I can see the stats, though. Let's not talk about that. What is Art doing? What the hell? Hey, yo? Weird. Huh. That I immediately pick a card. Interesting. Spirit. 4-man coming on top of him, but Sonic Wave will not connect. I just really enjoy seeing, even if the picks are not like great, for Samsung White, it makes perfect sense to want to go with compositions like these. In the long run, yes, this composition late game doesn't really have that much steam, although you can argue that it still does have a few, because Kassadin and Fizz are pretty good in the late game. And actually, on the other side, you're missing damage, really. So, I'm not actually sure about what I say here. I'm not sure about what I say here, to be honest. But it's just impressive to have been able to put yourself together a team comp like this one that is 100% going to dominate on both top, mid, and not bottom, but there was going to be a lane swap anyway, so who cares about bottom? You know there's going to be a lane swap. It's always a lane swap. But the ones that are initiating it are apparently Samsung Blue. They are looking to match it. That's the thing. They're looking to match it. And Deft was seen. So what will happen now for Samsung White? What is happening is Imp goes down, whereas Deft and Heart are already too far up and are forced to stay there. And now Mata gonna get some vision, or at least some control, over that red buff. So that's gonna be buff to buff, and Spirit is gonna be late. Mata is there already. The buff is going to be started. Pawn, big damage onto Dade. Wow, wow, another auto as well. Okay, Dade, less than 150 HP now. Taken very low, forced to use a pot. And that's going to be 4-man coming in to defend that buff. The Howling Gale cancel Spirit, and the red buff is going to be stolen. That is not a good start for the Spirits of Spirit and the whole of Samsung Blue. With that buff stolen now, Mada and Imp looking to do even more damage here. Howling Gale is there. He was seen though, Imp. Oh, cancel Spirit a bit. Interesting. Imp has Ambush and Expunge. No Cask. Spirit has been denied though. He's only at 8 CS now. Only one big buff. One neutral buff. Oh, Rune Prison will not do enough. Acorn taken very low. Expunge! And Mada finishes it off with an auto. Oh, man. First blood for Samsung White and Mada. Expunge dealt 150 damage. It was full stacked. It was fully stacked. Oh, no. Imp now having an easy time in that bot lane. TP is up for Acorn, but he did not want to use it. I mean, it wouldn't have done anything anyway. Looper able to freely get XP. He's at level 3 already. Waves are shoving in, actually. The waves are shoving in. Oh, the card is up. Dade will respond with a bit of damage, but that is not enough to take down Pawn here. And yeah, the Fizz is the counter to the Twisted Fate. Not to the Dade. To the Twisted Fate. If ever he starts to leave the lane, you can actually follow him pretty effectively. And deny him to actually leave the lane, thanks to your R. The big burst that you can throw on top of him before he actually leaves. Imp. Ambush. He's actually going for that. He is. Another big burst onto Acorn. My god, that Expunge. That was an extra 200 damage right there. Thanks to Expunge. It is at level 2. So, yeah, that will deal damage. Spirit gets onto Looper. 300 HP for him. The Sonic Wave from the side from Dandy comes through. Deft will also get a bit isolated, but not going to be enough. And, Spirit goes down for a second kill. Howling Gale comes through. Dade. Zoned away. Level 6 is going to come pretty soon, you're going to assume, for Pawn. He does not have pots anymore. But Mada, once again, looking for something in the mid lane. Since there's nothing to do bot lane anyway. It's impressive, though, how much Samsung White have been able to deny whatever Samsung Blue have tried to do. You try to give farm over to the Rise. Okay, we're going to actually try 1v1. Thanks to Ambush and the big amount of damage that Expunge gives you. You're going to actually try to invade into top lane since you have the numbers over there. Okay, we're going to respond by actually having that ward already in place before you come in. And just then killing you. Because you don't know that we know. So you're going to take a lot of damage before we even start. Before you can even start reciprocating. So all in all, it's just good play after good play for this Samsung White team right now. Looking for a clean sweep of their sister team. And we will see if that will happen. Dade looks like he was in the trees, but okay. Interesting. Able to stay even in CS. But now that level 6 is there for Pawn. Mata, level 3. Actually gonna play a bit with Spirit. He only has Madred's Razor, so you can. Looper level 6. There is the ward here placed. Well done by Blade, actually, to place that one. But he's going to reveal that they know, which is a bit weird. Oh. Bola Strike connects. But there was a big response from Samsung White here. 3 extra members able to respond. So the best you could have was a 3-on-4. I'm sorry, my throat is doing a bit badly now. I have talked for a while. Pretty loudly as well. I'm going to get an extra wave for pawn. I'm going to give himself a 60s advantage. Or about 4 maybe, even. Or more? Wait. Okay. Dade missed 4 of the 6. Not good. Not good. I don't know how you do that with wild cards, to be honest. Wild cards back then could just one-shot the wave, so that's weird. Was it after the rework of Sona? Because I saw a shield. That might have been after the rework then. Oh yeah, it was after the rework. Huh. Will Team Solo Mid be the only team to beat Samsung White this tournament? Hey, Crapo. Maybe. No. No, unfortunately not. They will have 2 losses to their record. Which is one of the most impressive runs at any world tournament ever. The only one to do better. SK Telecom T1 in 2015. They're the only ones to do better. TP comes through from both top laners here. And Looper is going to be a bit isolated here. 5-on-1. Able to dash away. Okay. Good dive by Samsung Blue. 5-man. Strong. Getting a good play here and getting 2 extra kills. They are 700 gold in the lead now. Capitalize on it. Capitalize on it. Getting that Drake is going to be the first good start here. You're playing a 3-on-5. But you're going to get collapsed on both sides here. Hey, that's going to be a bit bad, maybe. He gets the Drake! That was the most understated steal ever. What the hell? Dude just walks in. Wait. I have to reseed. I have to rewatch that. So Dandy just casually walks in and is able to get the steal. Spirit doesn't even smite it. Dandy does go down. Pawn deals a good amount of damage. Looper able to get the first kill. Double kill. Mata comes in. Triple kill for Looper. He can continue. Acorn gonna get a bunch of damage on top of him. Is it going to be the Quadra? Pawn gets the 4th. Triple kill for Pawn. That's 3-0-2. And a play that started really well for Samsung Blue is disastrous. They don't get the Drake. It gets stolen by Dandy in the most comical situation I've ever seen a Drake be stolen. Like that, just like that. He just gets in and steals it. Oh my god. He got stunned as well. Then yes, sure, he goes down. Spirit gets the kill, but then everyone is out of position. And yes, you're maybe fighting a 2-on-5, but you don't have the HP or the mana to fight it. You don't have the HP or the mana. And so, in the end, it just becomes a whitewash. 4 kills for Samsung White, the Dragon, and the 700 gold lead that was for Samsung Blue is now a 2,000 gold lead for Samsung White. One play changed everything. You have a Magi on Dade, which is baffling. I don't understand. How do you think Magi is good in this situation exactly? You just died. And you go with a Magi? Okay, interesting. And now Dade is going to pay for it. He's going to pay for it. Immediately goes down a second time. Magi is going to stay on 0 stacks. Oh We're 10 minutes removed from the end of the game, by the way. 10 minutes. What the hell? Pawn gonna get himself a blue buff here in the jungle of Samsung Blue. Good thing as well, he had no mana anymore. No, if he just bags, that's dumb. Okay, never mind. Never mind. But seriously though, this is just heartbreaking in the bad way for Samsung Blue. Oh, Flash Dandy extends it with the kick, and Acorn gets isolated and completely gets destroyed. Good play by Dandy, who has had a pretty good tournament, to be honest, as a whole, but especially here. This semi-final has been amazing for him. Yes, I don't like Lee Sin and everything, but still. Dade looking for that yellow card, but not gonna actually be used. Just as a dissuasion tool. Oh, and now Heart and Deft are a bit out of position. Will Mod again in time? No, he won't. He does have those Moby boots, but you still have a move speed boost by Heart. But then in this situation, I mean, Sona's not a bad pick then if she actually had a rework. Oh, Dade gets a bit too far forward here on the creeps. He will have the full stack of Expunge, and it goes down. The poison and Expunge takes Dade down. He went too far up, didn't have flash, didn't have anything. He has only a no-stack Magi and a Chalice. And that's it. This is not a good game for Dade. And we're 8 minutes removed from the end of the game. I'm sorry, I'm giving up count. Because this is not looking like a game that will end in like 8 minutes. This is not looking like it. Okay, they don't know. Samsung White do not know that they are on Vision. Will a Destiny Gate come through? Apparently not. But now this is a 4-on-5 now with the arrival of both players from Samsung Blue, but this is already done. 2 members get demolished. That's a triple kill for Pawn. Dade isolated, will be the 4th. Dandy finishes that one. Oh my god, and the players of Samsung White are laughing, and on the other side it's no laughs. Just stern looks and spirits looking up at the sky. Deft like, where am I? Deft looking like, where am I right now? Okay. The worst thing, they get the buff as well. Spirit jumps in, gets actually hit by Chum the Waters. Heart, too close, gets the damage as well. The crescendo is not enough. And Acorn gets himself 3. Rise is never able to get anything done in this game. Dandy gets the 4th with the Sonic Wave. And yeah, this is not a good situation for Samsung Blue once again. They're having a mid laner that is literally useless right now. He has no use. None at all. And I don't ever see them coming back from this now. 6,500 gold in lead for Samsung White, who are Goomba stomping this series against Samsung Blue. Alright, now, here we are. If there is one last play, there might be one last play for this Samsung Blue team, but Looper even able to get Spirit to say, no, you get out of there, thank you very much. Rat-tat-tat was used alongside the kick to get the kill onto Heart here. No flash used by Heart. This is a series that can really just kill your Spirit in this game, you know? It can get you to stop everything now. Turret goes down in the mid lane, the tier 2. I don't have anything to say on a macro standpoint. It's just, look at the vision on the bot side of the map for Samsung White. All the entrants are blocked. All of them. There's not one entrance in on the bottom side of the map that is not blocked. So there's nothing that Samsung Blue can do to enter this Drake pit. And the only thing they can do is try to get some defensive vision around the Baron, but they cannot start it themselves. They cannot do anything on that Baron at all. Looper gonna give himself the 4th turret of the game for Samsung White. Gonna get that goal lead to close to 10,000 now. It will be traded, though, with the turret top lane. All the goal is trying to get into Deft right now, but he will not have enough to carry this game. Spirit, isolated. Bola Strike connects. He has the 2nd, but will use the W instead. Dade just gets away. And the Spirit is dead. Dade just gets away. Heart and Deft, isolated. 5 men coming in. Looper gonna jump onto Deft. He does have a flash anyway, and Deft tries to go for the kill, but it will not happen. The ward kick by Dandy, and that's the 17th kill. This is a bit sad now, to be honest. I'm a bit saddened for this Samsung Blue team now, because they just don't want to play this anymore. You can see that they don't want to, but it's not even 20 minutes in. They cannot even surrender or anything, and you don't want to surrender a decisive game in a series like this at Worlds. You don't want to do this. But yet again, you're kind of forced to here. Pawn, flash, chum the waters, Spirit goes down. Good play by Pawn, really. Heart, again, picked apart by Dandy. Spirit laughs at that, to be honest. Okay, that's funny. Oh, Cripple hits onto Dade. Oh my god, the Howling Gale does connect. Pawn gets his 8th kill, goes legendary. Oh, Spirit. Ow, that hurts. Yeah, they know that the game is over, unfortunately. Samsung Blue knows that the game is completely over now. 2.5 minutes. Actually, no, 3 minutes. 3 minutes left. The best score is 1, 2, and 2 by Deft, and that's it. He's just there trying to get a turn in top lane. He is going to get it. Yay. Spirit goes down again. He's trying to get golems. Let him do the golems. Deft. He's going to be able to 1v1 Looper. Looper takes the whole bunch of damage. Flash in. But just one Rift walk away. Now Pawn is going to walk him down. Yeah, you're not going to get away from that, unfortunately. 1 Q, and Deft goes down. Heart also just dies in the mid lane. They're pretty much running it down now, unfortunately. But there's nothing else that they can do, really. They're all done. Oh, that Sonic Wave connects onto Dade. That is thanks to vision control. They knew where he was supposed to be, pretty much. And Mada taunts with the recall. Imp trying to look for another player. This is just them looking for picks now and not caring about the game itself, really. They know it's over. Like, in this situation, you cannot come back from this. You just can't. They are way too far ahead. Way, way too far ahead. Three to 24, ladies and gentlemen. 3 to 24. And we are looking for the last one, baby. The last play. Deft. Wasn't that Bush. Pawn. I was wondering if he would chum the waters on that, but he did not. So that the tickles from the calling. Imp flashes the wall, gets the kill on 2. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't really have to say anything about that, do I? It's just 3 easy kills. The team is way too far ahead, and the game, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be over right now. The TP in the mid lane from Looper. Spirit gets away. There's the Moby Boots. He gets away. Moby Boots, he gets away, and now Samsung White with the most dominant semifinals at Worlds ever, I think. I've not seen more dominant, to be honest. And yep, that was the whole series, ladies and gentlemen. 3-0 for Samsung White. And with that, I will stop the stream right now. I will rest my throat a bit more, and I will come back tomorrow for more streaming. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later. Bye.